A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic turn of events, Serbia has witnessed a resurgence of protests as thousands of citizens took to the streets, demanding the resignation of President Aleksandar Vucic and calling for early elections. The unrest, which has been brewing for over 9 months, was reignited following the tragic collapse of a train station roof in Novi Sad last year, which resulted in the deaths of 16 individuals and raised serious questions about corruption in infrastructure projects. The protests began last year after the incident, but have intensified in recent days with major clashes erupting between anti-government demonstrators and Vucic's supporters, alongside riot police. On Thursday night, the protests continued for a third consecutive night, with demonstrators targeting the offices of Vucic's ruling Serbian Progressive Party, SNS, in Novi Sad. Eyewitness accounts described scenes of chaos as protesters smashed windows, vandalized the office, and carried away furniture and documents while chanting, "He is finished." The absence of police and government supporters, who had been guarding the offices for months, raised concerns about the escalating violence. In the capital city of Belgrade, tensions flared as protesters clashed with SNS supporters, leading to the use of tear gas by police to disperse the crowds. Videos circulating on social media depicted moments of panic as protesters scrambled for safety amidst the chaos, with some individuals reportedly injured in the scuffles. President Vucic, in response to the unrest, declared that the state will win and accused the protesters of being enemies of their own country. He further claimed that the demonstrations were being orchestrated from abroad, although no evidence was provided to support this assertion. The recent wave of protests marks a significant escalation in what had largely been peaceful demonstrations, primarily led by university students. These protests have challenged Vucic's stronghold on power and called into question his administration's handling of democratic freedoms, organized crime, and corruption. The European Union's Commissioner for Enlargement, Martikos, expressed concern over the violence, emphasizing the importance of allowing citizens to express their views freely as Serbia seeks EU membership. As the situation continues to unfold, with gatherings reported at approximately 90 locations across the country, the atmosphere remains charged with uncertainty. The Serbian Interior Minister, Ivica Dačić, warned that those who broke the law during the protests would face identification and sanctions. The protests, which began in earnest following the tragic train station collapse, have evolved into a broader movement against Vucic's government, with demonstrators demanding accountability and transparency in governance. Observers note that while the protests have drawn hundreds of thousands of participants, the violence has primarily been limited to confrontations between protesters and police, rather than clashes between rival groups. As the protests gain momentum, the future of Vucic's presidency hangs in the balance, with calls for early elections growing louder. The unfolding events in Serbia serve as a reminder of the power of collective action and the ongoing struggle for democratic values in the face of adversity. With the nation's political landscape shifting, the eyes of the world remain fixed on Serbia as it navigates this critical juncture in its history. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.